My brothers and sisters of Africa, I stand before you not only as a soldier, not only as a president, but as an African son whose heart is heavy. Today, I speak not just for Burkina Faso, I speak for the crying mothers in Nigeria. I speak for the fathers who dig graves with shaking hands. I speak for the children who sleep to the sound of gunfire instead of lullabies. A few weeks ago, I could not sleep. The night was quiet in Ouagadougou, but my heart was not. Reports came in again. Villages attacked, families slaughtered, young girls kidnapped, farmers chased from their lands by bandits and terrorists. Nigerian blood was flowing like rain on dry soil. I asked myself, how long will Africa watch her children born? I picked up the phone. I called my brother, President Bola Tinubu. When he answered, I spoke plainly. I did not speak as a man seeking attention. I spoke as a Pan-Africanist. Mr. President, I said, our people are dying. Terrorists are turning villages into graveyards. Bandits are ruling forests like kings. Nigeria is bleeding. What are we doing? There was silence on the line. Then he replied calmly, almost casually, it is under control. Under control? But what does under control mean to a mother who just lost 3 children? What does under control mean to a farmer whose land is now a battlefield? What does under control mean to a child who has learned to run at the sound of motorcycles, because that is how death arrives? My brothers and sisters, I have seen war, I have seen fear in the eyes of innocent people, and I know what it looks like when a situation is not under control. The truth is simple. Nigeria deserves peace. Nigeria is not just another country. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Nigeria is drums and laughter. It is oil and intellect. It is strength and culture. When Nigeria shakes, Africa trembles. When Nigeria bleeds, Africa feels pain. I told President Tinubu, if the problem is too heavy, let us carry it together. If your hands are tired, let Africa stand with you. And if you cannot move against these criminals, then allow us to join you openly and decisively. I did not say this as a threat. I said it as a brother who refuses to watch another brother drown. But I felt distance in his voice. I felt comfort in words instead of urgency in action. Outside my office window that night, I could hear young soldiers training, boots striking the ground, determined, focused, ready to defend their homeland. And I thought about the Nigerian soldiers who are also brave, who are also ready, but who need clear direction, strong will, and fearless leadership. This is not about pride. This is not about power. This is about a little girl in northern Nigeria who wakes up screaming because she saw men with guns take her father away. This is about a young boy who should be in school but now holds fear in his heart instead of books in his hands. This is about villages that once had weddings and music, now silent except for the wind blowing through burnt houses. Africa must stop pretending. We cannot hold conferences while our people are buried. We cannot make speeches while our people are hunted. We cannot smile for cameras while our continent is wounded. I say this with love, but I say it with firmness. Leadership is not comfort. Leadership is sacrifice. Leadership is action. Nigeria does not need statements. Nigeria needs security. Nigeria does not need denial. Nigeria needs courage. When I ended that call, I stood alone in my office. The lights were dim. The map of Africa hung on the wall in front of me. I walked toward it slowly. I placed my hand over Nigeria. I whispered, "You deserve peace." And today, I repeat it loudly so the whole world can hear. Nigerians deserve peace. They deserve to farm without fear. They deserve to travel without checkpoints of terror. They deserve to send their children to school and expect them to come home alive. Africa must protect her own. If one nation is attacked by terror, it is an attack on all of us. Our borders may separate governments, but they do not separate our blood. I speak today not to embarrass anyone. I speak because silence has become dangerous. And this is only the beginning of what must be said. My brothers and sisters, after that call, I did not feel peace. I felt a storm inside me, because words are easy, but reality is not. In the days that followed, more reports came. More villages attacked, more families displaced, more children missing. The forests of northern Nigeria have become places of fear. The roads have become traps. The night has become an enemy. I saw the images. Houses burned to black skeletons, cooking pots lying in the ashes, a child's sandal half buried in dust, goats wandering without owners, silence where there used to be songs. This is not under control. This is pain. Nigeria is a proud nation, a powerful nation, the heartbeat of West Africa. From the streets of Lagos to the plains of the north, it is a land of strength and creativity. But what does strength mean when villages are emptied by fear? I thought about the mothers. A mother in Kaduna, she hears gunshots at midnight. Her heart jumps. She gathers her children under the bed. The door breaks open, shouting, fire, chaos. In the morning, her husband is gone, her home is gone, her world is gone. What will we tell her? Be patient? It is under control? No, we must tell her the truth. And the truth is this: Africa has been too slow to defend her own people. I am a soldier. I understand security. Terrorists do not wait for meetings. Bandits do not wait for press conferences. Evil does not rest. I spoke again to President Bola Tinubu. I told him, my brother, the situation is bigger than politics. It is bigger than image. It is about survival. He replied, again calm, again confident. We are handling it. Handling it. But handling it for who? For the television? For the newspapers? Or for the villagers who sleep in the bush because their homes are gone? There is a difference between controlling a narrative and controlling a battlefield. My heart is not against Nigeria. My heart beats with Nigeria. When I look at Nigeria, I do not see a separate country. I see cousins. I see shared ancestors. I see a common struggle against colonial chains. I see a giant that must not kneel before terror. This is Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is not just flags and speeches. It is not just history books and conferences in big halls. It is standing together when blood is spilled. It is saying, your fight is my fight. When Burkina Faso faced terror, we did not deny it. We did not hide it. We stood up and said, yes, there is fire, and we will face it head on. The terrorists in the Sahel do not respect borders. They move from one country to another like shadows. They hide in forests. They use fear as a weapon. They feed on weakness and confusion. If Nigeria is unstable, the entire region trembles. Do you think the bandits care about passports? Do you think the terrorists check maps before they attack? No, they care about power, they care about fear, they care about spreading darkness. And what do our people care about? They care about waking up alive. They care about planting crops in peace. They care about hearing laughter instead of screams. That is all. One evening, I gathered some of my closest advisors. We sat around a long wooden table, no cameras, no microphones, just truth. I asked them, if Nigeria were to ask for help, would we stand with them? Every single one said yes. Not because we want influence, not because we want praise, but because we understand that Africa must save Africa. If one house in the village is on fire, the others do not say it is not my house. They bring water, they bring buckets, they bring their hands. But what if the owner of the house says, there is no fire, while smoke fills the sky? That is the question that troubles me. I respect sovereignty, I respect leadership, but respect does not mean silence in the face of suffering. Nigeria deserves peace. The Nigerian soldier deserves support. The Nigerian farmer deserves protection. The Nigerian child deserves a future. And let me be clear, this is not an attack on the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people are strong, proud, intelligent. They are not weak, they are not helpless, but they are hurting. And when Africans are hurting, we must speak. I imagine a future where West Africa stands united against terror, where intelligence is shared, where armies cooperate without ego, where leaders admit challenges and face them with courage. That future is possible. But first, we must stop pretending that everything is fine, because it is not fine. The blood in the villages tells the truth, and the truth is crying out for action. My brothers and sisters of Africa, there is something more powerful than weapons. It is not money. It is not titles. It is not the size of an army. It is the ability of a leader to feel the cry of his people. A leader who does not feel becomes distant. A distant leader becomes comfortable. A comfortable leader becomes dangerous in times of crisis. When I spoke with President Bola Tinubu for the second time, I decided to speak not as a fellow president, but as a fellow